Hey guys, this is Tu. Welcome to the Fang Real Estate Show. This is, I believe, episode 9. And so the point of having a show like this is to kind of just, get to know like other community members that are investing in real estate, and to kind of share their experience and what they go through and stuff like that, and to help each other out. So today I'm very excited. I don't have one but two guests. Today, and they're a power couple. I'm excited because I'm trying to do the same thing. Have my wife help me out and stuff like that with our investments as well. So I'm excited to talk to the my two guests today. Um, so after we have the discussion, and then we'll open it up for some questions. So you guys have any questions for the two of them, or just like real estate in general, or anything really, just leave your comments below during this live stream, and then we'll try to answer them as much as we can towards the end of the show. And then I will post this on YouTube. So if you guys watch this later on YouTube and you have questions, go ahead and leave the questions below as comments, and then I'll get them to our guests to try to answer those questions as well. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe and share also. Okay. With that said, let's get started. Why don't you guys introduce yourself, both your names, and then what were you guys doing before real estate? And yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah, so my name is Mai Miller. I am a licensed realtor in Minnesota. Before doing real estate, I was working night shift at the hospital, and we had young babies and decided things need to be changed. So.
Yeah, my name is Trent Miller. Before getting into owning some properties and real estate, basically I've been in the demolition business since I was 19, and so now I own a demolition company. Been doing that for about 5 years now. So
yeah. Well, you wanted to go to school too.
Yeah, originally I went to school for a stint there to get into medicine, but kids come and plans change. So
yeah, they say kids are a blessing in disguise, so I think it's the situation. It probably is.
Well, it's different, but okay. So you guys were doing other stuff before real estate. So why did you? Are you still doing the demo stuff, Trent?
Yes, that's my demo is my full-time deal. Managing of the properties and maintaining and stuff. That's stuff that I manage on the side essentially. My Kia, she actually
I do all the managing.
Does most of it. So
okay.
I just fix things that need fixing.
He's a maintenance guy. Whenever I have issues, I just call him.
but I mean, your demolition stuff that kind of give you some real estate experience. I mean.
Yeah. It comes in really handy.
Yeah. I got a lot of experience in commercial demolition, so I know how to read prints and all that stuff. I went to school for plumbing. My dad was a journeyman electrician, so I used to do electrical with him when I was a kid. And
yeah, I'm gonna start calling you, man.
Well, my house and everything, I've basically rewired it all and did all the plumbing. So
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, and then my kid, you said you were at the hospital before.
Yeah. So when I quit doing work in the hospital, I was working night shift in the ER.
Yeah.
And it was just, we had little kids, and it was just really hard because I was losing sleep, so because babysitting was an issue, and we were like 9-to-5 jobs, so we had cap income, so it was really hard. And then we just decided that we need to do something that has no cap in our income.
Okay, but so then you jump into the real estate sales side, being a real estate agent. But why real estate? Why not like automobile sales? That doesn't have a cap.
Yeah. So I'm a people person. I love helping people, and I bought my first home when I was 19. So in my first home, I had absolutely no idea the process, what I need to do during a purchase, and at that time when I was 19, I had a realtor that helped me, but I wasn't, there was a lot of things that were not addressed, and there was a lot of things that could have been done different. And, I feel that, what, I love helping people, and I need to do something that can help change. And also, just there's this in the community, like a lot of people were thinking that, oh, yeah, but I want to change that. I want people to know that, but we love helping you, and we do a good job, just as good, as like Mikalo or other people now.
This is myth that like us Hmong are unprofessional, right?
Yes.
So in any profession, like we don't do a good job or but that's a far cry from the truth, right?
And I want to change that, and since been in real estate, I had a lot of clients that came up to me and said, my kid, I was absolutely wrong. We had a Itumika realtor because they said that, but then like it wasn't what we thought, and we came to you, and you were absolutely phenomenal. So and I want to change that. And also, I wanted to be able to be a resource to other people, and to be able to offer as much as I can, because I want to change my experience. Even though I had a bad experience, I want to be able to other people's experience.
Oh, okay, so that's good. You turn a bad experience into something that helps you with your career. So then, but you recently, I mean, you were doing the real estate sales stuff for a while, and then recently you guys started to say, hey, let's pick up some properties ourselves too. So how long ago was that?
Well,
so our first property was, it was something that we both wanted to do, or try getting into, which was a flipping. And so, basically we got into a good deal on that, and basically I worked the property myself. And basically I, it turned out good. We made money, but it
was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work, and I was doing my demolition business full time.
Yeah.
And trying to do that full time and flip the property, it's
like a full-time job.
Yeah, it's a full-time job.
Yeah, it's another full-time job. So
plus you got kids at home, and
we were pulling like 16, 18-hour shifts,
Yeah.
I mean, we still are, but it's a different kind of labor where we're working, and then we come back and we have to renovate.
Okay. I mean, like your full-time job, Trent, is already like really labor intensive, and so
it can be. I within the first 3 to 3.5, 4 years of the company, I was basically doing everything, working out in the field with the guys, and doing the estimating, invoicing, and all that, and insurance stuff. But it's I'm trying to throughout the years I'm trying to build more systems in the company and hire office personnel to manage certain other things, so I don't have to wear as many hats. And it takes a while to find a lot of good workers that you can trust to manage the jobs, and be able to manage the other workers to finish out jobs.
That's with any business. You got to find like good. It's hard to find good people.
And it takes time, and it's since then I every now and then I'm working out in the field still. It's just I don't need to as much anymore. Because I got a good crew of guys.
Okay.
So
I mean, I really need to call you and your company up. We're trying to go into we're trying to go into the commercial space too, and so hopefully once we get there, I know who I'm gonna contact.
I got a lot of commercial contacts. So
okay. So that first flip, what was the outcome? How much? I mean, how much money did you guys make, or what happened to that one?
So we purchased it for 135, and then I want to say we put about 160,000 into it. And then we sold it about for 250.
Oh, okay.
So so it was a good flip. But it's a lot of work too. It is a good business to be in, but I think after our flip, we that's not the business for us. So that's why we started getting into rental properties, so that we started doing rentals and managing instead.
Yeah, I think I think that flipping properties is something that if you're gonna do it, that's your job. That's a full-time deal. You could probably handle multiple properties if that's what you're dedicated to doing is just pure flipping properties. But if you're doing that plus other things, flipping is a lot of demand and it detracts you from your other stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I do rental properties myself. But I mean, like last week I was talking to Steven Tao, and he doesn't want any rental properties. He's into the flipping thing.
He does a lot of flips.
Yeah, we each got to pick what we want to do. Okay, so you guys been investing for a little bit over a year now, right? Since that first deal. So what's your portfolio looking like now?
Yeah, so right now we have rental properties. We have about 5 units. And then we have one Airbnb, the one Airbnb that we just picked up a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Also, you're moving from you have some conventional long-term rentals, but now you're doing the short-term rentals.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you do that because Chai, or how did you guys get into even thinking about short-term rental?
Yeah. Well, we went to Florida in February. We met up with Chai. So Chai was actually a big inspiration. And, I look up to Chai a lot because he is, he's a big go-getter, and I love looking up to people, and I love having people do things. And we met up with Chai in February in Florida, and we initially wanted to do Airbnb in Florida. We looked at properties, and we were actually looking at building an Airbnb down there. We came back home. We were like, okay, we're going to go home and write a check for a deposit so we can get this home building. And then it should be ready in 3 months. But then we came home and we did some numbers, and it just wasn't for us yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Just for us, I mean, it's a risk.
Yeah.
Like everything, and in that there's additional variables because we're up in Minnesota, we're not down in Florida, so we can't be as hands-on as what I think we would need to be, so we'd have to trust other agencies to manage the property or maintain the property, which added additional costs, plus like Cha mentioned to us when we were down there, was that our ability to compete with the other Airbnbs within the area probably won't be necessarily the best because our monthly mortgage would be higher, and basically we'd have to get a certain amount of money per month in order to at least break even, whereas other people may not have to get that much money to break even. And that's mainly because we're paying other people to manage and stuff like that. So it just, if in case the economy, changed and people stopped going on so many vacations,
we'd be the first to tank.
Yes, the Florida market, the Florida market would struggle.
Yeah. I think the last downturn in Florida was really bad. I think that's one of the worst, hardest hit locations. So you went down there, you got interested. Chai converted you guys from regular. He's trying to convert me too. Converted you guys.
He's a good guy.
Short-term rental thing. He probably showed you guys his statement and stuff.
Yes.
So then you came back. You decided not to go. You decided not to go forward with it in Florida.
Yes.
But once you got up here, you started doing some research to try to do it up here, or how did this new one came about?
Yeah. So we came back up here and we ignored our realtor in Florida. We ignored all his phone calls. So, and then we came back here and we did research up here, and we're like, you know what? We don't have much we don't have much for Airbnb in Minnesota. And we have people coming into Minnesota for so many events, and we have to have one so that we can be able to like have it available to our community. So we did some research, and we're in town. Why not start one to see where it takes us? So we decided that, okay, well, we looked at the numbers, and I think it worked really well for us, and we decided that we're gonna give this a try.
Yeah, like when I was looking into Airbnb, that's my thought too. I was like, we have so many Hmong people that come to Minnesota, and we might not be a tourist town like Florida, or Orlando, but you know what? Like we have so many Hmong family that come up here all the time.
Yeah.
New Year, July 4th, all that stuff. I remember like I think like 10 years ago, I came up here for the July 4th event, and like pretty much all the people from San Diego came on the same flight.
Yeah.
So it's hard to find hotels and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
It is. Yeah, it is. And like it's hard because like when people are coming into town, like Loto, like I remember going to my cousin's house, and Lopo, I mean, they were really welcoming, and they were good hosts, but like JTT so we have to, we're like, okay, we're gonna do something different so that our community will be able to benefit from this, and we're gonna try it out. So
yeah. And then I also think that, like, I mean, this is on the other side. I mean, not to say that it's sad or anything like that, but we have a lot of memorial services.
Yes.
And so, like, when we come up here, like, family come from out of town, the immediate family that it's been affected by someone that passed away, they are so overwhelmed with stuff.
Right.
And Hmong memorial services, they're like weeks and months long.
Yeah.
And so, like, try to get there to give you a space to, like, change and stuff like that. It's very difficult. So, I think servicing that, I see that that's a need. I was really researching that. I'm glad you guys picked that up.
Yeah.
To just service the Hmong people. And other too. But I mean,
I not like service our Hmong community and also the real estate community. There's like a lot of clients that they're buying and transitioning, selling and transitioning and buying, and they have this gap that they, they're closing their home, but then they're not closing the home that they're purchasing for a couple of days, and they need a place to stay, and they have a family, kids, so there's a need in that too. So I think that would help a lot of families out too.
Oh, I'm writing that down. I'm starting that. I didn't think of that. And I'm an agent too. I didn't think of that at all.
Yeah, actually,
right.
Yeah, it's because like we're there's a huge demand, because like when you're renting a hotel, you're stuck in this one room with no kitchen, right, with your whole entire family. And imagine doing that for a couple of days. I mean, it's fun for like 1 or 2 days, but when you're together for a whole like 4 days or a week, it can be exhausting.
That and laundry.
And laundry. Yeah. I especially when you have kids. Like we just have our baby. Well, she's 6 months old, but she added like triple laundry to us.
Yeah. I hope you're helping with laundry too, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let's sorry. Let's unpack this Airbnb deal. Then can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So how much did you guys buy it for?
So we got it for 187. We got it for 187. We took care of all the real estate fees. We took care of all the closing costs. So our client, the seller was nothing out of pocket. And then we our total investment towards this Airbnb, I want to say, is about $75,000.
$75K. Okay, that's with like furnishing, light rehabs, furnishing, and stuff like that. Let me see. Let's go back a little bit. How did you even find this deal?
Well, actually, it was like a close family friend of mine. She was looking to sell it, and being that the market was a little bit slower, it did move. So and she wanted to sell, so we decided to work out a deal where I took care of all the real estate fees, and I took care of all the closing costs and all the closing fees. So it kind of worked out for the both of us.
So why did she come to you guys anyway? She should have come to me. So
the same people work with you because they trust you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, that's just what I wanted to point out. People come to you because you've been able to help other people before, and they trust you,
Yeah.
right? So that you're not gonna take advantage of them, and you understood their situation, so you negotiate a deal that works out for you and works out for them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. What's very interesting is being in real estate. Nobody has ever asked me which company I work for.
Oh yeah. What
Yeah.
company? Uh-huh.
Yeah, because like they work with me because they like you and they trust you, right? Not because of the company you're with. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is being an agent, right? You're kind of independent, and so the trick is to just be a good agent and help help people.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, you found a deal like that. How did you negotiate it, or you just like did they just tell you, hey, we want 185, 187? You just say yes, or how? What was there any type of negotiation that went through?
It was a lot of negotiating back and forth. The seller wanted something, and then we kind of met in the middle. That was a happy medium for them and for us. Because we're able to take care of all the fees and all the closing costs, so that the seller wasn't out anything. So, it was a little bit of back and forth negotiating, but it worked out at the end of the day.
Okay, how did you fund this 187K? How did you?
Yeah, we did the traditional conventional funding. Because I asked Chai one time, right? Because I like Chai. He's one of my someone that I talk to a lot, and he's great. So I asked him one time, I'm like, Chai, would you ever cash out a property? And he's like, never. So but the thing is, you never want to cash out a property, because if you cash it out, you're out on all your liquid asset, right? So you want to be able to hold on to some money so you can reinvest that money. So what we did was we just did your traditional conventional funding.
So that's like a traditional 20% down.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, 20% down. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you want to be able to leverage like the bank's money as well, right? So at least here you're leveraging 20% of that.
Yeah. And you're not risking your money, you're risking the bank money. So let's say if at worst case scenario, if market ever tanks, I mean, worst thing we can do is file bankruptcy, right? I mean, worst thing investors do is they file bankruptcy, and they're not out all their cash, they're out investments. I mean, but so far, I would say real estate wise, I would say it's one of the best investments that you can ever do.
Yeah. Okay. So then total, how much did you guys spend to rehab it? And then how much did you guys, how did the rehab process go? Is this different from your flip, or how did that?
Way different. He didn't even touch anything.
Wow. I know some subs that I've acquired over the years of doing some of my stuff here at my actual home and the flip property. And so basically we had them do some of the work, but then when it came to installing some lights, changing out the old lights and stuff like that, I went in there and I, did all the electrical, fixed it all up and whatnot.
Yeah, so it was pretty much turnkey. I mean, we could have just turned it over right away, but there were some things that we could have done to make it look a lot better and more inviting to families when they come in, because we love traveling, right? And we've been to homes, and in our eyes, we have to make this home to families where we want to stay in it too. So we want to make it inviting, and we want to have all the necessary appliances or whatever in there, so that other families can enjoy it as much as we do.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
it's a lighter rehab than your 60,000.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The worst of it was changing out lights and receptacles and switches.
Yeah.
How long did it take you guys to finish the rehab?
Well, we got the property, and we were able to turn it over, furnish everything in a week and a half. So it took me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it took me 2 days of 18-hour work to do rehab in the basement, and then while I was furnishing, he was doing other electrical work. So a week and a half it was our turnaround.
Yeah, wow, that's quick. With you guys doing 2 full-time jobs too.
Yeah, we had to push a lot of things aside, and a lot of people weren't happy with us, but it worked out.
Yeah. You sacrifice here and there, and eventually it all pan out.
Yeah. So how much did you spend on furnishing? I went to look at it the other day, Trent.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. Yeah, we spent about, I want to say about 15,000.
15K. Okay.
Yeah, we got like, we got like your rice cooker in there. We got your chukina. We got your chuki in there. We got entertainment center in the basement. We have like high chairs for kids. We have it fully furnished. We have really nice mattress foams, so they're all like Tempur-Pedic mattress. We have TVs, smart TVs in there. So we bought, about 15,000 worth of to furnish.
Yeah, we got Netflix and whatnot in the smart TVs, so everybody's got movie options and stuff. And
I like the entertainment room in there.
Yeah,
air hockey and foosball.
Yeah,
that's pretty fun.
I didn't even think of like adding. I mean, if I were to do Airbnb, I would never thought about that, like to set up a good entertainment room. But I think that's a very good value add piece for your guests, right?
Yeah. Well, we kind of figure, like sports events, people want to come in, and we've been to Florida, we rent Airbnb homes, and they were able to provide us, and that kept our kids busy while we were doing something else. So I think we were thinking other families will appreciate it too.
Yeah. A lot of times when you're traveling out of state and you come into another house or a different place, your list of things to do isn't very big. So it's either they're going to hang out with their family or do family things, or if they have the entertainment within the house, they can always invite some of the family over there and treat it like it's a home. It's just
next time I have a relative that come visit, I'm gonna tell them to book your guys' room, your house, so that I could go visit and hang out over there.
Yeah. Well, if you're, if anytime if you ever want to go in there and just hang out, just let us know. We'll let you in.
I like that you guys even have like the kids, like a kids play place.
Yes, we have a little we keep families in mind because we have little kids too, and it's important for us to be able to host families that has kids as well, because sometimes we use the space too for us. Like if we ever have family gets together, I know that if we have like any available dates, we'll book it for our family. For example, like Thanksgiving or whatnot, and it'll kind of give our kids a place to play.
Oh shoot! Maybe I should book for Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm getting so much ideas. Like just like, it's not just like vacation. Like maybe if you want to just like use it for something, it's better than like booking a hotel.
It is. Yeah,
you can use it as a weekend getaway with some family members and stuff. Just get out, invite a bunch of people over. Play cards in the basement. Stuff like that. Just have a good family outing, and especially in the summer. It's got a nice deck in the back.
Yeah.
And, in the summertime, we'll have a grill out there and people can barbecue. And
we're going to get like a swing set in the back for the kids.
Oh, wow.
So we want to make it. Yeah, we want to make it where like families want to come here. When they come to Minnesota, they think about our house.
Yeah. For sure. So then, what's been the outcome of it? You guys had it for how long? Have you guys had this Airbnb for?
I want to say we had it for only a couple of weeks. And our first family booked. They were actually in for a funeral, and they booked again. And it was actually 3 couples. And it worked out for them because they all share the cost. And versus like renting a hotel, they were all have to like book their own individual hotel rooms. Yeah. But for that house, they were able to book the entire house for the three couples. And they each have their own rooms, and they share the cost, which was a lot cheaper. So we had that was our first one, and then we're half booked in December.
Okay, so that first one, that first couple, how much did you guys make, or?
So we charged like $185 a night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now what's been like like how many bookings do you need in order to cover your mortgage before you start getting into profit?
It's about 7 days.
7 days.
7 days?
Yeah.
Oh, so 1 week pays for it, and then 3 other weeks are your profit margin.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a pretty large profit margin.
Yeah, yeah, and it's amazing because we're in town and we don't have to hire like a management company to manage it for us. We can do our own managing, and if there's any maintenance or any issues, he's very handy, so he's able to take care of it. So that takes care of a lot of cost for us versus like we were thinking in Florida, it's great, but we don't live there. So I think it would be a lot of cost for us. So that's why we decided just to do it in Minnesota. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be on your guys' case to get updates on
this.
Yeah. Okay. Any lessons that you guys learned from this project so far? I know that it's recent, but
yeah.
Any lessons you guys learned?
Honestly, like we love renting in real estate. Like we just love the total real estate investing. There's some flips and flops about it, but then overall, I think I don't think there's any bad thing. The only thing is we didn't get into it sooner. But other than that, I would say like if anybody wanted to get into the investment, knowledge is important. If you were like, for example, if you want to flip, being able to know what needs to be done and how to do it is important. But because if we were to hire our flip out, it would have been more than 60,000 for sure.
Yeah.
But
that one we were getting we wanted to try it, and we knew it was a lot for that property.
Yeah.
So, but because I knew I was going to do it myself, we just decided to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of things that we could have been done differently, but we went above and beyond. We did it was a total gut. We put a lot of money into it, and they're all high end products too. So.
Well, I mean, it's you guys made money on your first flip. It was a lot of work, but you guys made money. But that's the experience, right? Now you get the experience. If you ever want to now that you did that first flip with that huge budget and huge rehab, this one is like a breeze for you. This
for sure.
Yeah. So
that's why you're able to do it. That's why you're able to do it in like a week and a half.
Yeah. So when I wanted to pick up this property and I talked to Trent and I was like, hey, I want to get into the AirBNB business. He's like, no, I don't know. I'm like, no, it's a business decision. Just let me do it. So I'll handle everything. I won't even let you touch anything. So that's why, like, when I did all the basement renovation, I didn't want him to show up because, I wanted to hold my word to it. And the only thing that, I wanted him to do was things I couldn't do, like the electrical and, stuff that I couldn't get to. But yeah.
Oh, that leads me to my next question. There, how did you? And let me start with Trent on this one. So how do you like get your how did your spouse or you get your spouse into the same page in terms of real estate investing, or just like business in general?
Well, so as far as like being on board together to get properties.
Yeah, or did she just say, "Hey, we're gonna do it," and then you're just like,
"There's a little bit of hey, we're gonna do this," but that was mainly on the short-term rental, the AirBNB property that we got.
Well, the flip you were kind of hesitant too.
That's because that property took a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, because like when I do real estate, I know the numbers. Like. When you're familiar with real estate, you know that, okay, comps are this much, this is around the number that we're going to be making. And, I think that if the numbers work, the deal is a good deal.
Yeah.
So if sometimes I bring it up to him, he's like, oh, I don't know. But I'm like, no, I think it's a good deal. Let's do it.
Yeah, the numbers worked because I was working the job. But if I had to hire it out, the numbers would have been real tight.
Yeah.
So, but it was the first opportunity of a flip that we had, and we decided to venture into it just to get the experience on it. So that's what we did on the flip property. And at the end of the day, we made money on it, and we were able to take that money, roll it into the purchase of our first duplex. And which once again, the duplex, it already had tenants in there, and it didn't really require a whole lot of work.
So that first deal, that's important for you guys, because that allows you guys to like roll on to the next like couple of deals. That's why you're able to do 4 different deals within like a year.
Yeah, well,
once
that was.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, that kind of helped us out too. But with Trent being a business owner, and he was able to take care of all our bills, and then the money that I made was able to be put away so that we can use that to fund our deals. So that's why we're able to get like 3 properties in a year.
Okay.
For me, the main thing about the first deal is basically getting that initial amount of money together and actually taking the step of moving into taking that sum of money invested into real estate, and you just got to roll with that money and just roll it on forward to the other projects. And so it's something that you've already invested, and you just keep on moving that amount of money up the chain. It's like a chain reaction is the way I see it.
Because like we were thinking that, okay, if you have 300,000, right, and you leave it in the bank, you put in a CD. CDs are only giving you 1.8%.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky, right? So so we initially had our money in a CD, and we're like, okay, we need to look at other investments, but nothing was going to give us, a good return. So we had to put our money somewhere. So when you keep your money in the bank, we're not CPAs, but just based on the research that we did, you're actually losing value in your money because inflation and taxes, and stuff like that. You're not actually out. So, we're like, okay, we have to put our money somewhere that will give us good returns. And, real estate, I mean, people are afraid that market is going to the market's going to go down. But you know what? Market booms and it busts, it booms and it busts, But at the end of the day, we're doing it. We wouldn't do something that we don't believe in. So we're doing it. I mean, there's a lot of security there. We absolutely love it. The return is way better than the bank.
So, Trent, you going along with all these deals that my kid brings you, how has it worked out, or what's your thought on that? Are you glad that you went along with it, or you're like, oh, we should have gone a different direction?
Speaking honestly, I'm happy, but I was also not so happy about all the work I had to do on the flip. But once we took that initial step, and we, because I don't know, it's just the end, the end product was so far out of sight when I got into it, because there was so much work on that, that, you just didn't, in the middle, you kind of can lose yourself, I don't know if and so, but with these other projects that we're doing, you feel a lot more accomplished because you can finish it out a lot sooner, and you can turn around and be like, yeah, we already did that, But
I don't know about you guys, but when I did my first flip with my wife, after we were done, my wife and I were like, "Oh, we survived it." So that means
that's how we felt. Well, him especially. I was just when we were there for work, I was pretty much like moral support, and I was just there if he needed me for something.
There were months that I basically had to just put that house on hold because I was so busy with my work. My work, unfortunately, it was a fortunate thing, but an unfortunate thing for the flip property was that my work at the time, we had so many projects going on during that summer that I was working for 3 months straight, including the weekends. And I'm talking 12 to 16, 18-hour days. And so I was lucky to even get over to that flip property to get anything done.
Yeah. Okay. And, I mean, not to forget about the family members that were able to help us.
Yeah.
His dad was really helpful. He was there whenever we needed him. So, we're really thankful for that, too.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of good support.
My other brother's a plumber, too. So that helps.
Yeah.
That's good to know. And like I said, it really tests your relationship,
It does. It does.
If you want to know if someone really loves you, go
yeah. Yeah, you cannot imagine the little pettiest fights that you can have, from the color of the front door down to what color should you paint the house. But it came down to the point where this is a rental, we're not living in it. I'm just like, I told Trent, we'll do whatever you gotta do to get it sold.
Yeah. at the end of the day, you just got to look at it like it's numbers, and you when you're doing a flip, you want to make it appealing to most people. So you're trying to gather you know, the interests of whatever is trending at the time, you know, so that people, you know, would like it. It's not about what I like. It's not about what, you know, she would typically like.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it's numbers and it's doing whatever is trending at the time, really.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back a little bit to the Airbnb property, right? So what's your I know it's still new, but what's your projection profit now? I know we said 3 weeks is for your profit margin, but what's the actual number on that?
So like right now that we're doing, or just like projection?
Yeah. What's your estimated profit?
Yeah, so like I mean it's too soon to actually really know, but then I would say if we fill it at least 70% or 75% of the time, we'll be making about close to like $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
$3,000, is that before or
that's net?
That's net.
Okay.
That's after all the mortgage and paying the Netflix and paying Wi-Fi and paying the electricity bill and all that stuff.
That's one property.
That's one property.
No wonder Trent converted you guys.
Yes. Well, because, you know, like one of our rental properties, our duplex, we're only making like $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
You know? So if we can do this Airbnb and make twice as much.
It's a little bit more hands-on, which, you know, also warrants the additional, you know, income. But, you know, at the end of the day, it is obviously a lot more lucrative. But then again, that purely depends on the market. With the long-term rental, people are always going to need a place to stay.
Yeah.
And so you're always going to have your long-term rental filled for the most part.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this Airbnb, you know, you can have highs and lows in that, you know, kind of fluctuating off of the market.
Yeah. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. If you cut your money in the bank, you're not making that much. Versus like our 75,000 investment that we did into this property. If we can net like 3,000 a month, that's amazing. That's more than any other investment that you can find out there.
Yeah. $3,000 a month, man. Maybe I need to really seriously look into this.
Yeah, it's like 75% return on your investment. It's a good deal.
Yeah.
Our other properties is about 50% return on investment, but that's with figuring each property, you know, annual maintenance fee or costs being about $5,000, which it's not going to be.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, maybe after a couple of my tenants' leases are done, maybe I might not renew it. And switch them over.
Yeah. I mean, there's other ways to strategy to do Airbnbs. Like if you can't, like, you know, if anybody wants to learn how to do Airbnb, like we would love to be a resource team. We would love to help other people out too. You know, because we believe in helping other people and getting people to be where they want to be. So there's other strategies. If you can't buy, you can also, there's other ways to get into the Airbnb business without having to buy.
Yeah. Okay, if they want to know more, reach out to Mikey and Trent. Or if you guys want them back, you know, like, share this video, and keep messages. Say, hey, we want these two couples back because we want to ask them how to do more Airbnb.
We love to help people.
Probably have a lot more feedback on the Airbnb in a few months, but
okay. Yeah. All right. So how do you guys market the Airbnb stuff? I mean, we call it Airbnb, but I mean short-term rental. How do you where do you guys put it?
Well, so right now, we were just like, I want to say 2 weeks into the business. There hasn't been much that we've been doing just besides Facebook marketing. I've been doing it on Craigslist. You know, I've been having some of my friends share it. You know, just word of mouth, telling other people. But then I'm actually looking to like hiring a manager that would help me manage this, and they can help me advertise it so that it's not just, you know, advertised just in Minnesota. It can be advertised all over the United States so that other people that are within the United States, they can come into Minnesota. When they look Minnesota, they can find our property. Yeah.
Do you have like a website already? Like I think Chai has something like Florida Vacation Homes or something like that, right?
Yeah, we don't have a website yet. We're still really new. I'm working on it. Actually, you know, someone called me about it, and I'm actually getting a website done. And we actually we're getting it done for like pretty cheap, $500 for someone to do it for us. Yeah. But it's in the works. Yeah.
I thought you guys had like a Facebook. Didn't you guys have a Facebook?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we have a Facebook page, and it's on VRBO, and we have it on the Facebook page is called Short-Term Vacation Rental. And then we also have on the RBO website and, all the Airbnb website.
Okay. Well, if anyone's interested, I'll leave it in the comments too. I'll probably get that all that information and put it in the comments. In case people are interested to look at how it's furnished, look at all the pictures, just see how it is, or if you're interested in booking it, I'll put them on there.
And feedbacks too. It's our first month, so we appreciate feedbacks. If there's something that we're missing that anybody thinks that, hey, you need to throw this in there, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think that's great. I got a bunch of useful tips for you guys already.
Yes.
So that's good. Anything else you want to share? And then we're gonna go to the questions from everybody. Before that, if you guys are just joining us, we're at the questioning segment now. So if you guys have any questions, leave it in the comment in this live stream. And then I'll ask Mikey and Trent in a little bit. So yeah, anything else you want to say to the other investors out there, or anybody in our community that is watching? And then we'll go to the questions.
Yeah. I don't think so. Do you have anything to say?
I don't really have anything to say.
Just real estate. If the real estate is a thing, I love real estate.
Yeah. So, all right. Let me start. I wanted to say that so that I could pull out these questions. So I'm gonna start by asking the questions that I posted a few days ago, and then if anyone has questions on the live stream, I'll ask that as well. Okay. Let's see. Zhang Ali as what was your motivation to get? What was your motivation to start out with? To get you investing in real estate?
Early retirement. We want to retire early. Yeah, my goal is to retire in 7 years.
Okay.
So that's our goal is to early retirement, because I don't want to wait till I'm 65 to retire. When I used to work at the hospital, there's people that when they come in at 65, so many ailments, they can't travel anymore. You're looking forward to your Social Security for one. Okay, I don't want to look forward to that. I want to be able to retire early. I love traveling. I want to travel. So that's one of my motivation, is to acquire enough property so that I can work part-time at least, and just or even provide early retirement for the both, for him especially, because I tell Trent every day, I want to retire him. He has a really laborious job, and my goal is to be able to retire him from his laborious job.
Yeah, especially in the winter up here, Trent.
It's not too bad. You just dress warm, layers.
It started to snow a lot. It started to snow today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So Trent, what motivated you?
So for me, it's obviously owning these properties, long-term rentals more specifically. When I get older, I might not have the energy to deal with the short-term rental. Depends on what we have as far as systems for managing it or whatever. But when it comes to the long-term rental, for sure, it's more of early retirement, I'd say, or
financial security.
Yeah, it's the financial security. It's a peace of mind thing for me to be able to, if the markets ever, took a tank, my income from my business would definitely take a hit, and real estate would take a hit as far as sales, and so for me, it's a financial security thing, and being able to provide for the kids and stuff like that. I mean, there's definitely a lot of sacrifices in order to accomplish, what we're doing. But at the end of the day, end game, it's necessary to be secure. So.
Yeah, and you guys accomplished a lot already within this first few years. So that's awesome.
We can do it again and again. I think 7 years.
Yeah.
Ask me in 7 years.
For sure. Well, if this show's still going on in 7 years, I'll have you guys back, and we'll talk about it. How do you manage? Matthew Lee Xiong asks, how do you manage your properties?
Well, right now we just, we do all the managing. Um, we don't have enough properties to hire out yet, but as of right now, we do it because we have really good tenants. All our tenants, they don't call us unless it's a maintenance issue or if it's, something that needs to be taken care of. So, we don't really get a lot of calls from our tenants. So we've been doing a lot of management ourselves, and our our properties are in really good shape too. They don't require a lot of work either.
That's one of the main things when it comes to the rental game is you have to screen people and make sure that you're renting to good, solid, families or people or whatever. But it's just you got to make sure, and it's all about verifying.
So what's your screening criteria? Like, do you have income requirement, credit requirement? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, well, so income requirements, no evictions, we don't really look at low credit score because we know people rent because they can't afford to buy. So that is not a huge issue to us, but debt is, something that we look at, so, and, we do references.
Employment verification, make sure that, they got a good solid job. Also it's, you got to make sure it's a solid job, solid market for that job. Some different industries have high turnover rates and stuff like that, which could put you at risk for them not being able to pay, stuff like that.
Okay. So employment history and income verification. Okay. Let me see. Chang Sang Lee as okay. Oh, yeah. How do you? I mean, you purchased like 4 properties within the year. So what's your advice to him and everybody else to get to your portfolio or your case too? How I think
a lot of hard work. Yeah, a lot of hard work. Like a lot of people look at us but they see all the stuff that we do, but they don't see all the stuff that we do up to it. So we put a lot of we work 18-hour shifts. There's times where I work till like 10 p.m. There's times where he works till midnight. A lot of hard work, and I would say stop putting your money in the bank. Put it towards an investment. And then
My wife and I always put money towards our investments, so like we always cash poor all the time. Now she's like, we have no money. But what would be like if you have to give an advice to someone that wants to start, right? What would be the first step?
I would say
save your money.
Save money, and if you want to start by flipping, because when you flip, it gives you that huge lump of cash when you sell your property, and that's going to allow you to reinvest into your next property. So if you want to do it and you don't have any money, I would say there's so many ways out there to start investing and start flipping, such as hard money lending. There's people that's in flipping that has zero money, but then they're able to get into the business because of the resources out there. So I would say if you want to get into it, you don't have any money, start by flipping.
Okay.
It will give you cash to fund your next project.
But if you don't know a whole lot about construction or and whatnot, flipping could be a risk. But ultimately, I think it's just about being able to be smart with your money. Don't go spending don't go get a bunch of loans on high-end cars and ridiculous things that you don't need. Bank away your money until you got a good nest egg of money. And once you have that nest egg of money, don't go throw it into a CD or anything like that. Don't throw it into an IRA. You got to take that money and you invest it in rental. Ultimately, I think rental is the most secure investment. If you're not able to save money, but if you have a goal, right? If you have a goal like, okay, I want to invest in real estate, I need, let's say, 15,000. Then now you have a goal to shoot for, and then you can start saving the money into that account, then to eventually invest. But if you don't have a goal, then you're never gonna be able to save that 15 grand or 20 or whatever that you need. And the problem, so the other thing that I see, like a lot, a lot of people look at it like, well, did you come from money or anything like that?
We
No,
didn't.
we didn't.
There were times where we had, like, a long time ago, we had $20 in our account, and we're just like, oh my gosh, what else do we need to sell to get money? But you have to, like, there's way to get around there. We didn't come from money. We were living paycheck to paycheck, just like everyone, and but then I would say, like, smart investing will help you a lot.
And if you're not able to put away money to save up enough money to invest in the rentals or anything like that, then you got to look at what you're doing for work. You got to change your circumstances somehow. If you got to build your own company or just different job, different career path, whatever, it's all going to require work. It's not just it's not just given to you. At the end of the day, you got to work hard for it.
There's a quote that I live by that says, if you don't work hard for your dreams, you're working hard for someone else's dream. So I live by that quote, and it's like, I have this dream, I have to work hard for it. If I'm not doing it, I'm working for corporate America. I'm building their dream for them. So that's one quote that I everybody should all live by. That so I really keep that quote near to me, and every single day I think about it.
Yeah, that's a good reminder to me. Thanks. Who Chai Xiong as Chai? He has who are your daily mentors?
We don't have anyone.
It's each other.
Each other.
It's each other. And Chai, he's on the list.
Chai's a good person. I message him a lot, and he's a great. If you guys haven't met Chai, I would say reach out to him. He's met him, and very, very humble guy, smart guy. And he's very honest. If you ask him, he's willing to help you out. There's there's some people that like legend check. He asks, he tells you. There's no secrets. Yeah,
he does. So if people don't know, Chai's the one that created the Hmong Investor Real Estate Group, and then he's also he has a Hmong Hustler show that he does. And then he's just been investing for a long time. So reach out to him. I think we did 2 shows with him, so I'll put that in the notes too if you guys want to watch that. Natalie, my niece, she asked, what were the struggles you had to go through to get your properties?
Chasing time. We find ourselves like chasing time all the time. I never knew what that meant until we became business owners. We're always not having enough time in a day to do it. And struggles that we had on finding our properties were like the market. As we all know, it's a seller's market right now. So all the properties out there are just really, really expensive. So I think you just have to do a lot of homework and scout your own properties if you want to invest. So being able to do your research and knowing the market.
Okay. Do you feel like being an agent that helps you with some of the research?
Yes, it did a lot, because I didn't before becoming an agent, I didn't know how you can find foreclosed properties. I mean, it's available to the public, but I didn't know how to do it. But since becoming an agent, there's so many stuff that I've learned that I wouldn't have learned if I wasn't an agent. And there's just and having the skills that I can as an agent to be able to save a seller real estate fees has saved me a lot too.
Okay. Johnny Yang asks, who are your lenders?
Well, we have this
what do you guys use?
So I have so I work with many lenders, and they are all amazing. But I find that if you we have this lender, his name is Chris Brown. He's he does all of our rental properties. And the reason why we use him is because he knows he has all our stuff, and if we do need anything, we can just call him up right away, and he'd be able to fund our deal for us. And he's able to close for us in like 2 weeks. So I mean, he's there when we need him, and he's quick, and he gets it done for us. So
okay. Similar questions. So how do you finance all your properties? Do you just do the 20% down, or how does that work?
Yeah, so our duplexes, we did 25% down. That was like the minimum. And then the single family was like 15%, but we ended up doing like 20% because, with PMI, it was just smarter to do 20%.
20% or 25?
20, I think it's either, I can't remember if it was either 20. But anyways, it wasn't 15.
I think it's 20. I think it was 20%, but then we did invest additional money to buy down the interest rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
these are like traditional, like 30-year mortgages.
Yeah, traditional conventional loans. Yep.
No exotic arm.
No, nothing. Yeah, we don't do. I don't believe in arm rates because my first home was an arm rate, and that was a complete nightmare. And I would never sell that to any of my clients unless they absolutely believe in it. Then it's up to them. But I would never sell it. We don't do arm rates. Yeah, and I think after 6 properties, you have to get a commercial loan. But but
6 within a year.
Yeah. So we just did the traditional conventional duplexes was 25, single family was, we did a 20%.
This Lu Yang said, "What's your favorite cereal in the morning?"
Favorite cereal? We don't eat cereal.
We're already fast forward into the afternoon, man.
Yeah.
Breakfast, that's going slow. It's too slow.
Yeah, for us, like for me, like we don't eat breakfast. Like in the morning, we're charging our day already. We just whip something up real quick.
Cook the leftovers from the dinner the night before.
Yeah.
Who has time to make breakfast?
So I think that's the myth that you have to eat breakfast, right? But
it is.
Oh, you still eat. It's just you don't have time to prepare breakfast.
Yeah.
You're either cooking like a leftover meal or you hit up your local, fast food restaurant.
We do a lot of fast
always
food
on the move.
every single day. I think we spend about I want to say over $1,000 on just eating out for a month, just because we're always. I was doing showings, I'm busy, and then I just get something real quick, and he just gets something real quick, and we're just that's just how we have been. And reality, we don't want to do that, but we just there's no way around it.
Well, you need the time, right? Like right now, you guys are investing, so the time is very important.
Yeah.
And so if you spend all your time prepping food and stuff like that, you're losing out on other opportunities. Alicia Vang says, "How did you guys get started? Was it one property at a time? And how did you prepare yourself, to start? I know we talked about it a little bit, but if you guys could reiterate, just like how to prep yourself to get started."
So it all starts with working hard and saving up the money. And for us, it started with the flip project, which we were able to roll the money into our first duplex. And as far as being able to get started or, we kind of use the resource. Like I got good family. So my father and my mother, they own a triplex. So they've been in the rental game since the 80s. And my oldest sister used to manage 700 apartment complexes or different units or whatever. And so basically through the network of people that I have, it's more comforting, I guess, to know that basically the lease agreement that we were able to draft up was a good comprehensive lease agreement that offers up a lot of protection for us. Because that's super important. Getting into the rental game would be super risky without a good lease agreement to protect you.
Because you want to have as many clauses in there as you can. Like we even have a rodent clause where if we have a rodent clause to protect us. We have other addendums that is in addition to the lease agreement that would help us. So it protects the tenants and it also protects us.
So what would you say to someone that maybe don't have the connections like you, Trent, where like you have some family members that has done it? Maybe that gives you some comfortability.
You gotta build a network of people. You gotta start. If you want to look into getting into the rental game, you have to start reaching out to people that have the experience in that market. And the more people that you can get, insight from, the better, because some people are going to have more experience than others, and different fields and stuff like that. There's just different diversities in what the rental game really is.
Yeah, I would say, networking is huge. If you don't know anyone, there's something that I don't know that you know too, and I still come up to you for, so it's, I think that is the biggest key is, having a huge network around you.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's kind of the reason why Chai built the Hmong investor group, but also that's kind of why I wanted us to have these discussions too. So if anyone started out, you guys have questions, reach out. I know a few people have been reaching out to me. I've been busy, so I haven't responded back. I will get to your questions, you guys. I mean, I will respond back. The guys, maybe a few that might be watching. It's on my to-do list, so I'll do that. But reach out to people. Definitely what you guys said. That's what I did when I first started out. I just I reached out to David Yang. You guys might know him. I reached out to Chai. I just start asking questions, but don't be annoying at the same time though.
Yeah.
Try to, help them out as well. Yeah. All right. Okay. I think, we already passed the hour, believe it or not. It went by quick. So let me ask you a few more questions, and I think I'll see if there's any questions on here. Well, actually, there are a few questions on here. So let me ask you this. Oh, where is your Airbnb? We never asked that.
St. Paul, Minnesota.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If people want to know the actual, are you gonna give the actual address, or if people want to know where can they go get more?
Yeah. So we can't give out the actual address because it's more of like it's a vacant, so we don't want. But if anybody wants to book, they can reach out to us, or they can go on to our Facebook page, which is called Minnesota Short-Term Rental, or we have it on VRBO. I mean, we can attach all the links under this, but it's located in St. Paul, Minnesota. It's within driving distance to 94 and 694. It's like 10 minutes from downtown St. Paul. So
it's south of 36, about probably 4 miles, 3 miles south of 36, Highway 36, between McKnight and Wiper Avenue.
Yeah.
I went there. It's nice, guys.
Yeah.
Go check it out. Let me see. So that's here in St. Paul. I know there was a question earlier. Let's see. Here, my buddy asked. Don't kick me out. Can you sing Xiong? He has a radio station. And he does a bunch of real estate too. He just bought a property in Duluth. So he says, you think I could use my place in Duluth as Airbnb?
Yeah, you can. There's Duluth is a really big tour site. The St. Croix, and every Christmas they do lights. It's like Duluth does the biggest light show. So it's a big tourist site.
You got the Lake Superior.
Lake Superior, and you have 2 harbors. I think he should do it.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, it doesn't work out, you just have to withdraw. But it doesn't hurt until you try.
Yeah. Worst case scenario is if you ever want to get into this, is worst case scenario is if it doesn't pan out on not being able to book stuff and whatnot. Worst case scenario, you turn it around and sell it. So think about it
or rent it.
Yeah, sell it or rent it, short-term rental. But at the end of the day, there's options if you're worried about throwing. People might look at this and go, "Oh, if I invest that money and then I lose it or whatever." It doesn't really work like that. You can always bail out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's been in the rental game for a long time. I think over 20 years.
Yeah.
And I know that he bought this place just so he could go up there.
Yeah.
But I was telling him, you should rent it out, Airbnb too.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys should manage it and do all the.
It gives him the flexibility to use that as a vacation place.
Yeah.
Yeah. for sure.
I mean, I should reach out to him if he doesn't want to Airbnb it. Maybe we could do it.
Yeah. That's good. Maybe I should. I'm gonna meet him tomorrow, I think. So yeah. Maybe I'll talk to him about that. All right. Let me see. What are your plans for the future? What's your goals for the future? I mean, now that you started over a little bit over a year now. Oh, and you want to retire in 7 years. So what's the plan to get that the next 6 years?
So continue at the momentum that we're going. If every year we can accumulate, 1 to 3 properties, I think it would help us. At the end of the day, I think our goal is to get at least 10 properties or, close to 20. But, I mean, that's far-fetched. But yeah, I think, our goal is to acquire more properties.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to overextend ourselves on trying to acquire the properties and sacrifice too much of our lifestyle or too much of, the kids and what they got going on for events and stuff. But ultimately, by the time I'm in my mid 40s, I'd like to have at least 10 different rentals.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, at least 10 properties upcoming. Okay. Let me see. All right, I think that's most of the questions. Let me ask you a few personal questions now. What do you guys do other than real estate? Other than your job, because your job is kind of related to real estate. So aside from working 18 hours real estate shifts, what else do you guys do?
We love traveling.
Okay.
Yeah, we try to travel 2 to 3 times a year, and even doing small trips to big trips. That's something we do enjoy doing.
Yeah, sometimes we'll rent an Airbnb, or like out west a little bit, and just take the kids out there, just a cabin for a while or something,
Yeah.
Or like some of the other siblings or whatever, we'll just take them out.
Yeah.
What's a good recent spot that you guys gone? Because I like to go see places too.
New York is really good. New York, Hawaii is good. If New York is actually pretty inexpensive.
If you like, do you like fishing?
No, I don't really fish. I like to I like sort of like resort kind of style. I just went to Lutzen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That was my last place I was there. We got a place there for 3-4 days or something.
Yeah, it's really nice up there.
Yeah.
But I need to go to New York. My brother's there. I keep telling him I'll go
beautiful.
visit, and I never go. So
Yeah, but prepare yourself. If you go to New York, don't do a car rental. You might just have to get Uber.
Oh yeah. My brother's there, and he doesn't have a car. So
yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. What do you guys like to do for fun other than travel? Because you said you travel already.
Well, I mean, honestly, we're really boring people. We're homebodies. We're boring.
I play pool.
He plays pool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I play in pool leagues and stuff like that.
You play in a pool league?
Yeah, I play in a pool league. I used to go to Vegas every year and stuff like that. Probably 10 years ago, but with the kids and stuff, I just play in a league, once a week or whatever, and play in a regional tournament or something like that.
Yeah. Wow.
He's a Masters pool player.
Next time you play, I gotta come and see. All right. We went way past the hour already, so I didn't want to keep you guys any longer than that. But what's a book recommendation that you guys have? I always ask these book recommendations for all the viewers.
Oh gosh, book recommendations.
For me, I don't have time to read a book. So.
Well, I would say not really books, but there's YouTube links that I watch a lot of YouTubes from people that are investors, and they're pretty. I mean, I can provide some links in this.
So who do you listen to?
Oh gosh, who's that guy that I was listening to? I think it's Grade. His Grant Cardone.
Oh, Grant Cardone, yeah.
He does a lot of BNBs. He does a lot of leasing, and then he turns it into BNBs, so he owns tons of properties around the world. So We're
Yeah,
not.
I think he has a segment with one of the big Airbnb guys, and he has like over 5,000 apartment units, and so like a 2% vacancy rate, it's like a lot of units.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think he's looking into like turning those vacancy rates into Airbnb while like he's waiting for it to get rented.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm saving some cash. I'm gonna, I think maybe in a few months or so I might invest with some of his funds on there. So, yeah, I listen to Grant all the time too.
Mhm.
Yeah. So even if you don't have time to read, go on YouTube and start listening. Start listening to what other
Yeah.
investors are doing.
Yeah. YouTube is I mean, it's not like I like listening to, even when I got into real estate, when I first started real estate, YouTube was for me important, because that's how I learned about investing. That's how I learned about, quick claim deeds and stuff like that. The stuff that I never learned about, and it was all through YouTube, through people that successfully invested in, and did. So it's a good page to be on.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Any last thoughts before we go? You guys want to share with everybody?
No, thanks for tuning in. I hope that we are able to provide some information and be a resource. And if anybody wanted to reach out to us, we'd be happy to help and answer some of their questions. But
where can they reach out to you guys?
yeah, they can reach out to us on Facebook.
Okay.
They can call me. My phone number is always on my profile page.
Okay.
I do real estate, so yeah.
If anybody needs any a list of decent subcontractors or something for like a good painter, or good plumber, good electrician, anything like that, it's always good to network with the guy, that's got those people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being that I do all the work myself, I only trust so many people to do it other than myself.
Yeah.
And so the people that I have are really, it's really good people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trent, I don't think we're friends on Facebook. So the first thing I'm gonna do after the show is
we'll fix that.
Because I need all his subs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah, if it's people are looking into getting into rehabbing, it's good to get all your subs in line, because time is money. If your property is sitting, you're losing money. So it's good to get all your contractors lined up so that when you get your property, you're ready to go, you're golden. So
that's a lot of great info. I got a lot of useful info tonight. So thanks for sharing. Thanks for coming on the show and sharing. I know a lot of people were mentioning that it's a lot of great information that they got too. So I just want to thank you guys for coming on here, and if people want more of you guys, leave comments, and maybe you guys will come back in the future, maybe do an update on
yeah, for sure. Because we're friendly too, and we love helping people. So if you have questions, we love to help you too. And we're just people, we're just like you, so don't be afraid to ask us. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. And thanks,
thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks a lot. I'll see you guys.
Yeah. Okay. See ya.
Yeah. Bye.